Hello everybody. This video is going to be more about me coming to the crossroads of my therapy. And I had so much faith in the therapist that I had, or that I have been seeing. And at some point, she really really shown herself. And I don't know if she's a narcissist or not. That's kind of hard for me to kind of gauge, but I do know that she's more one of those therapists that really, like I've mentioned before, most likely has not really lived through and experienced narcissistic abuse being brought up as a child. And I've come to realize recently that she's just, she can't really relate to what I'm going through. And I can only get so much out of therapy. And I've gotten her to help me change some of my thought patterns and how to cope with certain things and how to minimize the triggers that was brought on to me by my narcissistic mother and my piece of shit bio sisters. And now that she's empowered me to do those things, and also she even kind of also shown me a way of how not to overthink. And basically she said it's kind of like you treat it like a trigger wherever you know it's coming from. And basically, anytime I catch myself overthinking about something or overanalyzing something, she basically says, give it a name that you really hate. So, since I realized that, I was like, well, those thoughts come from my narcissistic mother, so I call my narcissistic mother by her name. And I call out her name and I said, you're nothing, beat it. Those are your thoughts, not mine. And I just tell her to shut up. My own narcissistic mother, I call her by her name, and I just tell her, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know shit. And I just call it out just like I do with my narc sisters when I know a certain trigger comes up and I know where it comes from. So anyway, my therapist has been very helpful to that. But now I've reached a crossroads to where I made a decision to where I have to part ways with my therapist. And the reason being is because she thinks that she has to really actually see my mother in a couple of sessions to really see if she's a narcissist or not, to kind of make her own diagnosis. And that there really just practically told me it was time for me to part ways with this therapist. But like I said, a lot of good came out through it. It was more good than bad. But when she said those things about feeling like she has to make a clear-cut diagnosis and really talking to my mom, little does she have very little clue that narcissists are like chameleons. They change. They mock certain behaviors, and um, she basically just kind of said, well, without really seeing your mother and talking to her and evaluating her, I can't diagnose that she's a narcissist, but I know in my own heart of hearts she is. And nothing that any therapist that would tell me is going to make me think otherwise. I know in my own heart of hearts, I lived through it, I experienced it, I survived it, overcame it, found closure on it. So, is therapy bad? I would have to say to the extent a way it is bad because, like I said, it's very hard to really find a therapist who has first-hand experience with narcissism, that's actually really lived through it and experienced it like I and many of you out there have. It's very hard, very difficult, but What you can do with therapy is the thoughts and the thought patterns and the ways of thinking. That's the only thing that therapy will help, and help you with triggers. So that's what it's only good about. But as far as being able to relate what you've gone through, and that's where I kind of really felt it in my own heart of hearts, that I can't go no further with therapy sessions, because she obviously can't relate to what I've gone through. And for her to sit there and make some type of official diagnosis by talking to me, but her little does she really know. Or I would have to say she has some ignorance, and means of she's never experienced narcissism in her life. She's never been brought up by any. Well, actually, from what she has told me, she says that she was adopted. But anyway, I mean, still, that tells you there she's most likely has never ever really experienced narcissism. And for there to really, it's more like, to me, the way I kind of interpret what she's trying to say to me is like, well, in order for me to really confirm, or for me to relate to what you're saying to, I have to talk to your mom and make that diagnosis. But she really lacks the knowledge and the experience and the first-hand knowledge about how much narcissists like to disguise or wear that mask and hide themselves from what they truly are. And narcissists, we all know, can do things that can really absolutely fool you. I mean, they're clever in that aspect, but dumb in a lot of things. And so I made a decision to just really just say, okay, I reached a cross point in my therapy, and got myself pretty much reprogrammed into better ways of thinking, better ways to look at things, so that way I don't become stuck in those thoughts, those things that's been like a black cloud hanging over me for ever since I was a child and up until now. So she has given me tools to do that, and they have helped. But for those of you that are really considering therapy, the thing is, the hard part is, like I said, it's hard to find a therapist that can really relate to you, that's ever really experienced it like you have and me and many others have. It's very hard to find. And it's very hard to not be able to tell a therapist about about what you know about narcissism. And a lot of therapists can't seem to grasp onto that. So it's like they have to make that diagnosis. It's like, well, very hard to diagnose somebody, to diagnose a narc. When we scapegoats, we know how very capable of narcissists hiding themselves, their true selves that we know is there. And like I said, diagnosis doesn't mean jack shit. We all know that. So, without further ado, now it's time for me to keep applying those things that she's taught me. And I basically just kind of told her, well, I'm going to be unavailable. I won't be able to see you anymore. I decided that I've reached my crossroads with you. I mean, obviously you can't really relate to what I've been through, but you have been very helpful in helping me change my way of thinking about things, and helping me become unstuck, and help me deal with things that's been hanging over my head like a black cloud since I've been a child. So I'd say I've reached my end with therapy, and now even to dig even deeper, as Shanti says, to dig deeper into even help myself even be more mentally strong and resilient. And that's that. So anyway, for those of you that has found my channel, I welcome you with loving open arms. And to just give you an update on my weight loss, I'm been balanced between 206, 208. So I'm still you know just a little couple pounds fluctuation. I guess it's maybe because it's the weather starting to get colder, but I'm still active as ever. And it feels good to really lose weight. It's the greatest feeling in the world. And now that I have found my calling, God's calling, now that I found that, and to be able to inspire many others to lose weight, and also, um, like the job where I'm working at right now, there's not even a single person there that does not like me. And I make the workplace fun, and I just make people laugh. So who knows? Maybe I could become a comedian down the line. You never know. Um, I just like to just see people smile and laugh, forget about their problems, and working 10-hour days. Um, and I just believe God put me in this job place for a reason to kind of help people make through 10 hours because it's really, really hard to work. I mean, 8 hours is challenging enough in any job. But this particular job that I'm working at right now, um, I'm well liked by my peers, well liked by my boss, and I make the workplace pretty much bearable to get for 10 hours. And people always are so happy to just see me, knowing that I'm there, knowing that, and you know what, that's a great, great feeling. I never really thought that I could really find a workplace to where everybody gets along, nobody makes trouble for anybody else. Where I work at, they don't really tolerate brown nosing, which is a real rarity these days. But yeah, this job, God's put me here for a reason, and just never know where this job could possibly lead to. But I'm still pursuing my fitness instructor certification. I'm still pursuing that as well. Just waiting for the study materials to come my way and for me to take some CPR training so I can become certified in that. So I'm on my way to really act upon God's calling for me in my life. So that's all what I have for right now. As far as what's going on with me right now, it's you know, I just know each day I'm realizing that I have purpose, I have worth, and you know what? Many of you will reach that point, but you have to do the work to progress and make it through your recovery and healing of narcissistic abuse. Everybody has the same or similar story. Some people I know, and I completely understand that some people just don't have the financial means or they're leaning on that narcissist for financial purposes, which I'm not going to look down upon you as far as judging you because that's not my job to do. But my message to you out there that really feel trapped is that you can get out. Make it a point each day of how you could possibly get away from your narc. Think of ways, find ways. Keep your eyes and ears open. Never let a day go pass by to where you're not constantly thinking about how you can really get away from your narc and live the life that you deserve to live. And those of you that are pulling through and that are making progress, I'm very proud of you. And I appreciate everybody's feedbacks on my videos, even on some that I've done months ago. But anyway, for those of you that's really, really followed me for quite some time, I really appreciate your support and your feedback and your views. And Um, Without you, I wouldn't really have this channel. So I appreciate each and every one of you, new and existing subscribers and like I said, brand new subscribers. However you found my channel, God has led you to me for a reason. And I would like to be that person to inspire each and every one of you to become stronger, to become more fit and healthier mentally, physically, emotionally, because it can be done. All you have to do is believe in yourself. And I know to some of you, you think it's more easier said than done. Well, never said it was easy. I've really came a long way within a year's time. And it does get better. For those of you that really made a decision to go flat out, no contact with your narc, congratulations. You are headed in the right path. It may seem bumpy, you may seem unsure, scared. Believe me, hurt. Oh, believe me, I've been there. And I feel you. I feel your pain. And I wish I could just give you a hug and just tell you it's gonna be okay. All you gotta do is keep stepping, keep moving, and be good to yourself. It's a very long road, but you will get there. You can do it. Don't let nobody else ever tell you different. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. The next video I really want to talk about would be about the holidays. We all know that's coming up. And the thing is, where are you at in coping with the upcoming holidays? So anyway, stay tuned for that next video. This is Mary Ellen signing off. I wish you love, I wish you peace, happiness, and wellness above all else. And also, stay strong. Be good to yourself.